Hey guys, Anthrich here from the Bloody Point. Today we're going to start a new series, I think, on this channel. I will call Win Some, Lose Some, which will be videos where I post a fight that I lose and a fight that I win. Most people don't fight, or rather post their losses, but I think it's pretty instructive. Just watching this video, I can see a lot of things that I did incorrectly, or things which could have changed the outcome of the fight. My aiming precision here for my range attacks is very poor, and Tyrannical's mobility is quite good, so as you can see, a lot of my big damage attacks miss, and that's a huge problem when the fights are this close. Another thing I notice is I was not as careful as I could have been with my power usage. I have certain abilities off of cooldown and I failed to use them. One of these could quite possibly have prevented my death. You'll see that near the end of this fight. So, Crowfall right now is pretty much just waiting. I'm playing a waiting game, farming, you know, acquiring resources, weapons, gear, etc. while we wait for Dregs to pop, which should happen any day now. There are a couple issues that are being resolved, and once those are addressed, I think we will see a Dregs on the live server. There's a short duration one on test right now, 3-point-something day Dregs, in case anyone wants to go over there and have a look at the map or anything else related to the Dregs map set. Again, my aim in this fight was pretty bad. I noticed it quite frequently on the Stormcaller, where attacks which appear like they should hit do not. It seems the aiming is not as forgiving as for some other classes. Some of the range promotions especially, you can be way off center reticle and still be scoring hits. Not so for the Stormcaller. And when your attacks are doing 2 and 3k, missing one, it pretty much modifies the fights considerably. But Tyrannical did a great job here. We fought several times and he beat me pretty much every time. The matchup in this particular case wasn't terrible for me. Like I said, the fight was close, but didn't quite pull it off. The next one is a much better matchup for me in some respects. Still a close fight, but the outcome was a bit easier for me, although not easy. Here we're going to see a very clutch proc coming up shortly. So when this happened, you can notice I actually don't do anything for a while, for like a second and a half before I die. It's because I was bandaging and the bandage went off for 1 second and a trap stun procced on me. I thought the bandage had failed. I didn't notice the cooldown timer, so I was trying it again, and that's why I was standing still. I could have done a number of different things there. I had my barrier still up. Probably would have saved me long enough to get my Q recharged and maybe prolong the fight, but you know, it is what it is. That's how combat is. You have to make good decisions and notice everything, and little mistakes will mean your death for sure. So here again I get the jump, I get the first attack off using the AoE abilities. The AoE power's ability to go around objects, something which will sometimes get you called a hacker or a cheater, but it's just the game mechanics. So Knights can be rough for casters when they are using their dodge pip debuffer, you know, they eat up your dodge pips. They use that effectively, and if they're chaining well, especially if you're on an elemental damage user and they're reflecting. I didn't notice a lot of reflecting here, but it could be simply the build. You know, druids have a really strong advantage in some of these fights with the Q. You just need to drag the fight out long enough for it to recharge and just continue doing your damage. Eventually you will get a couple good hits in. You know, the Stormcaller build that I'm running, depending on, you know, the relative armor and damage statuses of the two classes, you can do in your 3-power lightning chain between 6 and 7k, which for some classes is pretty much their whole health pool. So you can get very lucky with that. You know, it's even happened where I hear people have commented that they thought it was an execute power, which of course is not the case. Ah, yes, bushes can be your friend. So I'm low health in most of this fight. I mean, it's not looking good. You know, in the past, in previous iterations of Crowfall, I would actually stay near low health intentionally as a method of drawing certain classes in for use with the Q power. Not so in this case. It's simply the way it goes. So we're getting to the end of this fight. Yep, good fighting going on. Again, as I always do, I encourage everyone to get on the test server or the live server. You know, things are winding up here. We're getting closer and closer to release, and knowledge you gain now will serve you well in release, and I really think everyone should be playing. Thanks for watching as always. Catch you next time.